We recently brought you the story of a submersible called Limiting Factor. It was used to reach the deepest parts of all 5 of the Earth's oceans.
The Puerto Rico Trench, the deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean, has always been a source of seismic fear and scientific mystery.
That is the brainchild of adventurer Victor Vescovo. Now, we introduced you to him back then as well, but after meeting the guy, we decided we needed to take more of an in-depth look with Lee Cowan.
But no one expected what was recently discovered at its blackest depths. Over 5 miles beneath the waves, a hidden anomaly has sparked global intrigue.
For your loss, I know you knew a few of the folks who were on board. I also know you were reluctant to say much about this until we knew what actually happened.
Silence from authorities, and leaked data pointing to something unprecedented. This isn't a story about fish or rock samples. It's about something engineered, something active, and something buried beneath our feet that could change the way we understand Earth's stability itself. So why did scientists try to keep this under the radar? The answer will change everything you thought you knew about the Puerto Rico Trench. The abyss of the Atlantic. At the remote boundary where the vast Caribbean Sea meets the restless Atlantic Ocean, a profound geological scar gouges the seafloor, the Puerto Rico Trench. Stretching an astounding 530 miles, this immense tectonic trench plunges downward beyond 27,480 feet, deeper than the height of the tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest, which stands at 29,000 feet above sea level. This trench represents not just the deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean, but also one of the planet's most complex and volatile tectonic zones. Here, the North American plate is forced beneath the Caribbean plate in a bewildering, intense dance of subduction and lateral slipping. A unique hybrid zone where 2 massive slabs of the Earth's crust interact with immense pressure and friction. This convergence does not follow the smooth, predictable lines seen in classic subduction zones. Instead, it is riddled with faults, fractures, and stress points that store vast seismic energy. The geological strain accumulated here has the potential to unleash earthquakes exceeding magnitude 8.0, powerful enough to trigger destructive tsunamis that could race across the Atlantic basin and imperil coastal regions thousands of kilometers away. Yet, despite its enormous geological significance, the Puerto Rico Trench remained largely a shadowy frontier in oceanography for decades. Unlike the Pacific's Mariana Trench, which had drawn scientific expeditions since the mid-20th century, the Atlantic's deepest canyon was largely unexplored, obscured by technological limitations and the inherent dangers of deep-sea exploration. The extreme pressure, pitch-black darkness, and near-freezing temperatures at such depths create an environment that defies human survival without the aid of specially engineered machines. Until recently, no one had ever peered directly into the abyssal plain that forms the base of the trench. What strange landscapes, unknown life forms, or geological features might be concealed in that crushing darkness? The answers remained buried in the deep until the dawn of the 21st century, when new technology finally allowed humankind to reach these crushing depths and map the unknown with unprecedented clarity. Into the Milwaukee Deep. The year was 2018. December's chill had set in along the Atlantic seaboard, but aboard the research vessel DSSV Pressure Drop, anticipation ran hot. American explorer Victor Vescovo, a modern deep-sea pioneer and retired naval officer, prepared to pilot the DSV Limiting Factor, a state-of-the-art submersible built from titanium and engineered to withstand pressures that would instantly crush ordinary vessels. This single-person deep submergence vehicle represented the cutting edge of human technology, capable of diving to depths exceeding 11,000 meters. Vescovo's mission, to descend to the Milwaukee Deep, the deepest known point of the Puerto Rico Trench, and to conduct a comprehensive survey of its seafloor. Accompanying the Limiting Factor was the DSSV Pressure Drop, equipped with the highly advanced Kongsberg EM-124 multibeam sonar system, one of the most sophisticated mapping tools ever deployed at sea. This sonar emits acoustic pulses that bounce off the seafloor, returning data used to construct highly detailed topographic maps of the ocean bottom. What began as a routine geological and bathymetric mission quickly took an unexpected turn. As the Limiting Factor descended into the crushing depths, the sonar readings began to reveal something unusual. At approximately 8,300 meters below sea level, The scans detected a curious anomaly, a sharply defined, flat feature etched into the abyssal slope of the trench. Unlike the natural, jagged contours expected of tectonic boundaries battered by millennia of geological upheaval, this formation exhibited clean, straight edges and a regular shape. Sonar reflections returned a symmetrical pattern, a shape that defied conventional geological explanation. It resembled a perfect hexagon, 6 straight sides meeting at precise angles, almost as if deliberately constructed. Initial skepticism reigned among the expedition's scientific team. Sonar systems, while advanced, were not infallible, and sometimes produced glitches or artifacts in the data due to complex interactions of sound waves with underwater terrain and temperature gradients. But every repeated pass by the pressure drop sonar confirmed the presence of this geometric anomaly. It was no artifact, no error. Something real and inexplicable lay etched into the ocean's deepest ravine, challenging existing assumptions about geological formations at such depths. What was this structure? Natural or artificial? Geological or something else entirely? The discovery sparked intense debate aboard the vessel and among the broader scientific community once news leaked out. It opened a door into questions never before asked about the deep Atlantic seafloor, questions about unknown tectonic processes, undiscovered geological phenomena, or even something more mysterious waiting to be uncovered beneath the crushing pressure of the abyss. The sound that shouldn't exist. Soon after the initial sonar anomaly was documented, the research team deployed an array of hydrophones, specialized underwater microphones designed to detect acoustic signals far below the ocean's surface, lowering them carefully into the depths of the Puerto Rico Trench, directly over the site of interest. What they captured stunned everyone. The hydrophones picked up a series of low-frequency pulses, each pulse separated by precise, rhythmic intervals. These were not the chaotic sounds typical of deep-sea geology, the grinding or fracturing of tectonic plates, or the bubbling hiss from hydrothermal vents. Nor did the sounds match known biological signatures. The pulse pattern bore a haunting resemblance to a harmonic sequence, as if the trench itself was emitting a coded message in sound. Scientists initially suspected mechanical interference. Perhaps the vibrations from the submersible or support vessels were contaminating the recordings. But repeated tests disproved this theory. The pulses persisted long after the submersible had ascended, and the recording equipment had been isolated from human-made noise. Multiple instruments, including electromagnetic sensors and magnetometers deployed alongside the hydrophones, detected correlated electromagnetic fluctuations, pulsing in perfect synchrony with the acoustic signals. The research logs detailed this discovery with growing unease. Signals recorded at 12 Hz, 18 Hz, 27 Hz, distinct harmonics with intervals matching a geometric progression. No known seismic or oceanographic phenomena align with these frequencies in this location. Extensive geological surveys confirmed the absence of volcanic activity or any hydrothermal venting within the trench area. The abyssal plain around the anomaly was cold and inert, unmarked by thermal hotspots or gas emissions. No biological life forms documented in the region exhibited sound production in these frequencies, especially with such structured periodicity. Worse yet, the intensity of the pulses increased as instruments approached the anomaly. Signal-to-noise ratios improved exponentially with proximity. It was as though the trench was alive with a deliberate, persistent signal, one that defied all conventional explanation. Geometry in the deep. By early 2020, the mystery had grown too profound to ignore. An international coalition of oceanographers, geophysicists, and materials scientists organized a follow-up expedition to investigate the trench anomaly in unprecedented detail. Equipped with cutting-edge multi-beam echo sounders and autonomous underwater vehicles, AUVs, programmed for ultra-high-resolution mapping, the team conducted a meticulous bathymetric survey of the trench floor. The data streamed back in terabytes, revealing contours and textures invisible to previous sonar attempts. What emerged on the digital seafloor map was extraordinary. Nestled amid the abyssal depths was a massive structure spanning over 200 meters in diameter, but not a natural formation. The shape was a flawless hexagon, with edges and vertices so sharply defined they appeared sculpted rather than eroded. Extending from each of the 6 sides were 6 elongated radial grooves, stretching outward like spokes on an ancient wheel, perfectly symmetrical. The angular precision was baffling. The hexagon's corners deviated less than 0.2 degrees from ideal geometry. Such precision is unheard of in geological formations shaped by random tectonic movements, sediment deposition, or erosion. The team cross-referenced known hexagonal structures in nature, such as basalt columns on land, which form from cooling lava, but none matched this scale or this underwater setting. Spectral analysis of reflected sonar frequencies combined with remotely operated vehicle ROV sampling confirmed an even stranger detail. The material comprising the structure was denser than typical oceanic crust. Layers of rock interspersed with metallic inclusions, elements rare in natural seabed geology, were detected. Preliminary chemical assays suggested the presence of alloys containing traces of iridium, titanium, and other elements often associated with engineered materials rather than natural mineral deposits. Additionally, magnetic field measurements revealed localized anomalies, fields fluctuating in strength and orientation, inconsistent with Earth's geomagnetic background. These suggested embedded metallic structures capable of generating or influencing electromagnetic pulses. Every available piece of evidence pointed away from natural phenomena and toward something deliberately constructed. The structure wasn't merely strange, it was undeniably engineered. But by who and why? And how was it impacting the ecosystem? The creatures watching. As the remotely operated vehicle, ROV, descended into the abyssal darkness, the ocean around the anomaly grew eerily silent, save for the low hum of its own thrusters and the distant clicks of hydrophones recording faint, unexplained sounds. The cameras illuminated the trench floor with powerful LED arrays, casting long, stark shadows that danced over the unusual hexagonal structure embedded in the sediment. Suddenly, shapes began to materialize out of the inky blackness. Ethereal, almost ghostly, translucent organisms floated with a slow, deliberate grace. These life forms defied familiar categorization, their elongated, eel-like bodies shimmering faintly under the ROV's lights. One creature hovered motionless near a corner of the hexagon, suspended in the crushing pressure as if defying the physical laws themselves. Then, it emitted a series of bioluminescent pulses, 3 precise flashes of blue light, each evenly spaced with mathematical regularity. The pattern was unmistakable, a tri-phase signal that suggested intentional communication rather than random biological glow. Elsewhere, a jellyfish-like organism, bulbous and translucent, wrapped tendril-like appendages gently around one of the 6 radial grooves etched into the hexagon's surface. The creature remained there, motionless, for hours, its pulsating bells emitting faint rhythmic glows, as if engaging in a silent dialogue with the structure itself. The ROV's cameras captured every moment, revealing a strange symbiosis, or perhaps a sentinel-like vigil. Biologists aboard the support vessel eagerly collected samples using baited collection bags, hoping to unlock the secrets of these abyssal enigmas. Genetic sequencing later unveiled amino acid sequences unlike any cataloged marine species. These sequences suggested a possible evolutionary offshoot, organisms that had diverged in complete isolation, adapting uniquely to the extreme environment of the trench. The absence of eyes, replaced by sensitive, pressure-tuned receptors, indicated a sophisticated sensory system built for the utter darkness. But what truly unsettled the research team was the creature's behavior. They did not drift aimlessly in the deep ocean currents. Instead, they orbited the hexagonal structure in complex, choreographed patterns. Their movements were deliberate, protective, akin to sentries guarding a fortress. There was an unmistakable intelligence in their choreography, a silent watchfulness. Speculation surged. Were these creatures the trench's indigenous guardians, evolved to monitor and protect this bizarre structure? Or were they drawn by an unknown energy, responding to signals emitted from the anomaly's core? The mystery deepened, compelling scientists to rethink the boundaries of marine biology and the possibility of unknown ecosystems thriving in the Earth's most forbidding depths. The gravity deflection. As geological and biological teams pored over the accumulated data, another startling revelation emerged, one that extended far beyond biology and ventured into geophysics. By integrating satellite altimetry data with the precise sonar mapping of the trench floor, NASA scientists uncovered a subtle but undeniable anomaly at the ocean's surface directly above the hexagonal feature. Instead of the expected uniform sea level, a measurable depression was recorded, a nearly 10-centimeter dip compared to surrounding waters. This was not a transient effect caused by tides, currents, or meteorological phenomena such as storms or atmospheric pressure fluctuations. The data was consistent, persistent, and precisely aligned with the location of the anomaly on the seafloor. The phenomenon was traced to a localized variation in Earth's gravitational field, a gravity deflection caused by an underlying mass concentration, or mascon. This kind of gravitational lensing, where gravity subtly alters the shape of the ocean's surface, is a rare and telling signature, typically observed only near massive geological features, such as undersea mountain ranges or ancient asteroid impact craters. Yet this anomaly was different. The mass responsible was remarkably compact and concentrated, not sprawling like a ridge or basin. Its density was extraordinary, exerting enough gravitational pull to deflect satellites' radar altimeters from orbit and create a persistent depression in the ocean's surface thousands of meters above. This discovery raised profound questions. What could lie beneath the trench's sediment, buried deep at over 8,000 meters, that was so massive, so dense, and so stable? Conventional tectonic structures or known mineral deposits couldn't account for the magnitude and precision of the gravitational signature. Nor did any seismic data suggest the presence of a volcanic or igneous formation matching these characteristics. The implications were staggering. Beneath the crushing weight of ocean and crust, something heavy and enigmatic rested, an object or formation that defied existing geological models. Its immobility over decades indicated a stable, enduring presence, not a transient geological process. Scientists speculate wildly. Could this be a previously undiscovered type of mineral deposit, forged under extreme pressures? Or a remnant of an ancient impactor, buried and concealed beneath sediment? More controversially, could it be an artificial construct, an engineered mass designed to manipulate local gravity or geology? And if this was the case, who had built it? This gravitational puzzle deepened the mystery of the trench, suggesting that the anomaly was not just a geological curiosity or biological hotspot, but potentially a focal point of unknown origin, something that challenges fundamental understanding of Earth's geology and physics. The second site appears. Late 2023 marked a breakthrough that stunned the scientific community. Using cutting-edge deep-sea sonar technology, a multinational research vessel detected a second anomaly, located approximately 515 miles southeast of the original site. This new formation lay partially buried beneath layers of thick marine sediment along the eastern flank of the Lesser Antilles volcanic arc, a region already known for its complex tectonic activity and volcanic history. What immediately caught the researchers' attention was the uncanny similarity to the first discovery. This second formation exhibited the same near-perfect hexagonal geometry, spanning roughly 650 feet across, with sharply defined edges that defied typical geological erosion patterns. Despite the sediment cover, the sonar's high-resolution mapping revealed precise radial grooves extending outward from the hexagon's center, mirroring the first site's unique design. As cartographers plotted the two sites on a digital map, a chilling pattern emerged. When connected by a straight line across the Caribbean basin, this alignment intersected a third significant geological point, the tectonic hinge zone near the Muertos Trough, where the Caribbean plate transitions into a complex subduction and transform fault system. This hinge, known to be a major locus of seismic stress release, was not previously linked to any such geometric patterning. The implications were staggering. These 3 points formed a network that appeared intentionally aligned, resembling a geostructural stabilizing grid. Unlike random natural formations, this suggested a level of geological engineering, or at the very least, a mechanism designed to influence tectonic stress distribution across this volatile region. Almost immediately after the announcement, the the tone around these discoveries shifted drastically. Both sites were swiftly reclassified under government security protocols, with official documentation sealed from public view. Researchers directly involved in the follow-up expeditions were reassigned under vague terms, their communications restricted. An academic paper detailing the discovery, slated for publication in a prestigious geoscience journal, was inexplicably withdrawn at the final stage, citing national security concerns. Data sharing ceased entirely, forcing independent scientists to rely on leaked fragments. The once open scientific inquiry into these hexagonal anomalies now lay behind a veil of silence and secrecy, a stark departure from the norm in the global research community. The forbidden data dump. In the early months of 2025, whispers of classified information began to surface within underground scientific circles. On a secured and encrypted scientific forum, an anonymous account posted a cache of files that had clearly been extracted from a heavily guarded database. The package included high-resolution bathymetric maps, spectral analysis reports, internal memos from research teams, and encrypted metadata logs. The files spread rapidly through the marine geology and geophysics communities, sparking feverish analysis and debate. One particularly striking note came from a marine geophysicist who examined the spectral return signatures of the hexagonal structures. The report described them as indicative of a composite alloy unknown in terrestrial geology, suggesting the presence of materials that defied all known natural rock or metal classifications found in oceanic crust or mantle compositions. Further confounding experts was the observation of an almost complete absence of sediment buildup on the structures, despite their presumed ancient origin. This lack of sediment suggested active surface maintenance at depth, implying some ongoing process or mechanism preventing natural accumulation over centuries or millennia, an idea that flew in the face of standard sedimentation models in deep marine environments. But the most enigmatic revelation came from a fragment buried deep in the metadata logs, referenced in an internal file marked as classified. Geoacoustic interface detected, frequency lock initiated. No explanation accompanied the phrase, but the implications were profound. This was not merely a passive geological formation. The structure was emitting acoustic signals, pulses or vibrations, at specific frequencies, and more alarmingly, it appeared to be responding to these frequencies in real time. The notion of an active geoacoustic interface hinted at an engineered system interacting dynamically with its surroundings, possibly communicating or stabilizing through precise acoustic modulation. Scientists speculate wildly. Was this some ancient tectonic control system? A remnant of a lost civilization's technology buried beneath the ocean floor? Or perhaps a natural phenomenon entirely outside current human understanding? Whatever the truth, the emergence of these forbidden files ignited a firestorm. Official silence persisted, but behind the scenes, a global race intensified among both agencies and independent researchers to decode the true nature of the hexagonal anomalies and to understand the purpose of this mysterious geoacoustic interface. The final revelation. Months later, after careful but largely classified investigation, an internal report surfaced via a leaked source. The document was raw, an unfiltered glimpse into the minds of the scientists grappling with the anomaly's true nature. It hadn't undergone peer review, it was not sanitized for public consumption, but it was read by those who understood its magnitude. According to the report, the anomaly beneath the Puerto Rico Trench defied conventional scientific classification. It was neither geologic in origin, lacking the mineralogical patterns expected of natural formations, nor biologic, showing no signs of organic or microbial life. The report's authors described it as an engineered stabilization node, an artifact of advanced design, constructed to interface directly with acoustic frequencies and gravitational stress points along Earth's most volatile tectonic zones. In bold letters near the document's conclusion, the chilling phrase stood out: "System integrity may be dependent on continued resonance." The implication was profound. These trench structures were not inert relics buried in the deep. They were operational devices, part of a network maintaining the delicate balance of plate tectonics across the Atlantic basin. Scientists theorize that the resonance emitted by these nodes may act as a geophysical dampener, absorbing and redistributing seismic stress that would otherwise result in catastrophic shifts, massive earthquakes, or underwater landslides capable of triggering tsunamis. The discovery suggests that Earth itself might be safeguarded by a living mechanism beneath its surface, silently regulating geological forces that humans have long considered uncontrollable. And the biggest question remains: who or what placed these mechanisms there? No existing civilization, ancient or modern, has the technology to construct such a system at this scale and depth. Some experts cautiously speculate about lost prehistoric civilizations or extraterrestrial intervention. Others propose Earth might host unknown geological processes that mimic engineering design, but are natural in origin, a hypothesis that itself would rewrite geology textbooks. Regardless of origin, this revelation changes everything we thought we knew about the planet's internal dynamics. It forces humanity to reconsider its understanding of seismic risk, geological evolution, and perhaps even the origins of life on Earth. The deep Atlantic is no longer just a place of mystery. It is now a living testament to a planetary-scale system, silent yet essential, whose presence challenges science and reshapes our very relationship with the ground beneath our feet. If something buried deep beneath the ocean was keeping our planet stable, would you want it uncovered? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching this video with us, and catch you in the next one.